Here's something wild. In 2026, nearly 90% of social media users barely post anything. They scroll, they watch, they like occasionally, but their own photos? Nowhere to be found. You've probably got friends like this. Maybe you're one of them. But here's the thing, this isn't some random trend. There's actual psychology behind it, and it's way more fascinating than you think. If you're curious about what really drives human behavior online, you're going to want to stick around for this. And hey, if this interests you, hit that like button and subscribe because we're diving deep into the human mind on this channel. So let's get real for a second. We're witnessing something major happening right now. The age of oversharing is dying. People who used to post every meal, every outfit, every thought are suddenly going quiet. Their profiles look abandoned. Last post? 6 months ago. Maybe a year. But they're still there, scrolling through everyone else's lives. These are the lurkers, the watchers, the silent observers. And contrary to what you might think, they're not antisocial or awkward. They've just figured something out that took the rest of us years to understand. Posting your life online comes at a cost, and not everyone's willing to pay it anymore. Let's talk about the privacy protectors first. These people value their personal boundaries like gold. They've watched how quickly things spread online. One photo, one moment, and suddenly it's screenshot, shared, and living forever in places you never intended. They understand something crucial that the internet made us forget. Not everything needs an audience. Their life isn't content, it's theirs. They decide what gets shared and what stays sacred. And with all the data breaches, the tracking, the algorithms knowing more about us than our closest friends, can you really blame them? They're protecting their digital footprint because they know once it's out there, you lose control forever. But here's where it gets interesting. Research shows that people who don't post their photos actually experience social media differently than the rest of us. They're not just hiding, they're observing. And what they see is everything we miss when we're too busy crafting our next post. Studies reveal that lurkers report lower levels of social comparison, less envy, and significantly less anxiety than active posters. Think about that. While everyone else is stressing about the perfect caption, the right filter, whether they got enough likes, these people are just living. They consume content intentionally. They're not passive, they're selective. They choose what deserves their attention and what doesn't. Their relationship with social media is healthier because they've drawn a line. They'll engage on their terms, not because an app told them to. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Fear. Not the kind that cripples you, but the smart kind. The kind that says, maybe I don't want to be vulnerable to thousands of strangers. Because let's be honest, putting your photo online is an invitation for judgment, for criticism, for people to form opinions about you based on a single frozen moment. One bad angle and you're a meme. One misunderstood caption and you're getting dragged. These people have seen what happens when things go wrong. They've watched viral embarrassment destroy reputations overnight. Cancel culture isn't just for celebrities anymore. Anyone can become a target, so they opt out. Not because they're scared of living, but because they're smart enough to know that not every battle needs to be fought in public. Here's something the self-help gurus won't tell you. External validation is a trap. Those likes, those comments, those little dopamine hits every time someone approves of your photo, they're training your brain to need approval. People who don't post have broken free from that cycle. Their self-worth isn't tied to how many hearts they collect. They don't wake up checking notifications to see if they're valuable today. Their confidence comes from within, from real relationships, from actual accomplishments, not digital applause. And that's powerful. Because when your self-esteem depends on likes, you're giving strangers control over how you feel about yourself. These non-posters, they took that power back. They already know their worth, and they don't need your validation to confirm it. Let's talk about the introverts for a minute. For them, social media is exhausting in ways most people don't understand. Every post requires energy they'd rather spend elsewhere. It's not shyness, it's about how they recharge. Introverts thrive in deeper, more meaningful interactions. A long conversation with one person beats 100 shallow comments any day. When they choose not to post, they're preserving their energy for what actually matters to them. face-to-face connections, real conversations, experiences that don't need to be broadcast to feel real. They're not missing out. They're living more authentically than people who experience life through a screen, already thinking about how to caption it. But here's what nobody's talking about. Even the extroverts are pulling back now. Something shifted in 2026. People who used to document everything are suddenly posting way less. Their feeds show major life events only. Weddings, graduations, new babies. That's it. The daily updates, gone. The casual selfies, disappeared. There's a growing realization that living in the moment matters more than capturing it. That some experiences are meant to be felt, not filmed. That constantly performing your life for an audience means you're not actually living it. You're just creating content. And people are tired of that. They're tired of curating perfection. They're tired of the pressure. They're choosing presence over performance, and honestly, that's the healthiest thing we've seen happen online in years. So what does all this mean? The people who don't post their photos aren't broken. They're not insecure or hiding from the world. They're making a conscious choice about how they want to exist in digital spaces. They're protecting their peace, their privacy, and their authenticity in a world that constantly demands more. They've realized that real connection doesn't require constant visibility, that your worth isn't measured in followers, that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply exist without needing to prove it to anyone. These silent observers have figured out what the rest of us are still learning. You don't owe the internet access to your life. Your presence doesn't need to be performed to be valid. Here's a question worth thinking about. When you post your photo, are you sharing a moment or seeking approval? Are you connecting with people who matter or collecting validation from people who don't? There's no wrong answer, but your answer tells you everything about your relationship with social media. The people who've gone quiet already know their answer. Maybe it's time you figured out yours, because at the end of the day, the most authentic version of yourself might be the one that doesn't need an audience to exist.